What I've done is after I've chosen all the boards that I wanted, I kind of hand pick them for like the look. Like certain boards have really pretty like little lines and things running through them. Certain knot patterns, little variations in the wood that I think are super pretty. And some of them have this weird like grayish, reddish thing going with lines. Almost has an oakish look, but it's pine. So anyways, after I've done all that, kind of chosen the side of boards I want to use, then what I have done is cut off each side of the middle boards, so I have a flat surface, so they'll go together tighter, so you don't get crumbs and stuff in your table. Like when you're wiping, it doesn't go down the grooves as much as possible. But now that I have done all the cutting, now I gotta flip it over because this is my top side. So obviously I am going to flip all the boards over because I have to. So now that I flipped them all back over, what I always do is I put 3 support beams in the middle, 2x4s, but they have to be different lengths because the middle one here, I'm gonna estimate, I'll measure for like exact later on, but I want one board that covers all the middle ones because I'm going to screw it together, and then about half of the outside board, so when you put your elbow on the table, the board doesn't go wah, 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 yeah. Anyway, so this one's going to be about 36 inches, the middle, and I want these end ones also to be 36 inches on each side. That's where the legs will go to the floor. However, I'm going to have a 2x4 on each side. That's what the legs are. So I need to minus 3 inches because there'll be a 1.5. 2x4 is not actually 2 inches. It's 1.5. So this middle one will be 36. I'll cut the other two 33 to accommodate for the legs I'm going to put on the side. So let the games begin. So I'm not very official here. I make these tables in my garage. I actually had to make a table to make this table because my garage floor is not very even concrete, and I got sick and tired. I've made 2 tables already. I got sick and tired of getting up off my hands and knees all the time and trying to keep, you know, things flat on uneven surfaces. It's not very cool. So I probably will have a workbench in here someday, but I don't yet. So I'm just gonna grab probably that most unbeautiful chewed up 2x4 that I have, which a lot of them come with this junk on them, so I'll just bury that on the underside. So I need a 36 inch and 2 33s. Yes. Measure twice, cut once. Yeah. It's a very good rule. Lexi! This here is Lexer's. Give me Lexi. She is the neighbor's dog, but she comes to help out. Yes, so often. She saved me from skunks the other day. She was very proud. Yes. And then she chases my chickens around and around their fence every now and then. Can't get to them, but boy, does she think she can. All right, that's right. Good. 2 drills in hand. Try to get 1 screw in every single board, and hopefully that'll suck them all up even because they're kind of kitty-wampus right now. While we're out taking a snack break or whatever. Right, I was goofing off. I cut 4 36-inch boards. These are the legs. I decided to use that beautiful red board that I found. Gonna take a lot of sanding, but so pretty. I had to use it for this. Not so real. These are where the feet are going, so I try to pick boards. I try to pick boards for these that are flatter. I mean, I'm going to sand them, but if they got big, huge chunks taken out of them, nothing worse than wearing shorts or a skirt or leggings or something, getting your anything caught or scratched or whatever on a piece of wood sticking out. So I try to pick the smoothest sides to go, especially here if you're gonna have bare feet or sock feet. Who wants their socks picked apart by chunks? So I do my best to try to get these smoothed out. I might actually grab the sander and sand off a little bit of these first before I put the boards on, because it's going to be easier. I left all my really coarse sandpaper at a friend's house because I was helping her do a project, and I only got, I think, fine left. I have done the foot rests at 10 inches off the floor, so I will do that for these as well. I do it on the floor because the weight of the table keeps everything nice. I don't have to hold it. Again, and last time when I quit, I had cut the wrong board. I'd cut 3 inches short because I hadn't accounted for the extra length in the 2x4s. I had just measured from here, which is obviously a rookie mistake. So I quit for the night because, sometimes it's better to quit while you're not too far behind. Anyway, back at it today. Had to go dig around for some tools because my husband stole his tape measure back. What was he thinking? He has a better tape measure. I need to go buy myself a nice one. Anyway, so I had measured this. We're at 39 7/8, but I had to add on 3 inches, obviously, because I have 2x4s out here. So I did those. I recut that. I have drilled, put in the screws. So now all I need to do is get these lined up and get. So now that I've cut these nice angle boards, I'm going to pre-drill holes and stick them right in here. And that will make it nice and solid. I'm going to take one first because I don't have to wonder if I hit the same hole. There we go. Now I'll do the rest of them. So the table is done. Very sturdy. I'm sliding it out of the way now because I have bar stools to make. So I'll have to just get it out of the way and get to going on the bar stools. So what I've done here is on my fence here, I've set it at 11 inches because that's what I need. This rigid fence, I was reading up on it a little bit, tends to be a little bit movable. So if you shove it forward and then lock it down, it's rigid. So I should be able to use my little gauge here. Well, I'm back at it today finally. Stayed out of the garage for a little bit because it was so darn humid. Still hot today, but decided to suck it up and go for it anyway. So got my table finished, been working on bar stools, trying to get a process because every time I put one together one way it feels like it didn't feel like it went real smooth. So hopefully the way I'm doing it now will be the best way. Okay, so now I got two put together, my two sides put together. Now I'm choosing my 2x6s and I look at them and decide which, obviously this chunky side here is not going to be where we sit. I'll sand off as much as I can of that, but that'll go on the underside, so that's no big choice. This one too has kind of a chunk taken out of it there, so I'm going to put that on the inside so that doesn't bother anybody when they sit. I sand all the roughness off of these pieces, but definitely not going to have that on the outside. So then I just put these up here, and these two pieces go Some of this pine has some serious chunks taken out of it, so I'm just going to bury that on the underside. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of squaring it up. I eyeball. I know you're not supposed to do that probably, but I have had very good luck with my eyeballing skills. So I know approximately where everything's supposed to be, and then I kind of square this all up where I want it, and it looks good. I like to have a little lip underneath the side so that when you pick up your bar stool, you can actually hang on to something. So I get this all where I think it should be, and then I will screw down. That looks flush. And then I will screw down these two, and then put those in. The last little part here, I measure 4 inches down on all the legs and make a mark so I know that I'm going to put the foot rests in exactly the right spot. Much easier. All right. Now I have my last 2 little boards here. I can pick this out I want. So I just look at my marks and I stick that in here. Making sure everything's nice and square. And I'm going to do one on each side first. On the same side, you can try sometimes you want to do this and I go around. We have the bottom support. Again, I'm going to pick the best side, flip this over, and I center this in the middle with about 1 3/4 inches on either side of this. All I got left is the staining and varnishing. So I decided to get a little snifty here. Didn't like there's a big gap here. So I decided to get a big old clamp and a couple of boards and screw that puppy down tight, and then add a couple more screws on the bottom. We're good to go. So I thought I got my sanding all done. Got my tables and stuff all outside, ready to just dust them off a little bit. Coming out here, and what do my eyes see? What the heck? What is that? Back to the drawing board. Discovered the last time that I made these tables, I should probably stop doing my having just my bare hands. I'm wearing gloves today. Because I discovered that varnish, I'm finding these things all over the place, that's bad. Varnish doesn't, it's very sticky, it doesn't wash off with soap and water. I mean, like, yeah, I should have known that. But it eventually wears off. It doesn't take too long, but talk about annoying. All right, goodness. And I was doing the finishing work. I forgot to turn on my camera. So I have already put 1 coat of polyurethane on everything, on the table and on the 4 bar stools. And then I have I've done 1 time of sanding. And now, so everything has 1 coat on. The tabletop has 2 coats, but I am in the process of needing to sand it 1 more time. and then putting on the final coat. I like to put 3 coats of polyurethane on the places that are going to see like liquid and, you know, people eating and food and a lot of white. So I have everything sanded now, and got everything done. Feels pretty smooth. Wiped all the sawdust off. This is my 3rd coat, so I'm just using a regular plain polyurethane. Satin is the color I kind of like. I'm not into too shiny. I've used a bunch of different kinds of polyurethane. This one seems to work as well as any of the other ones. I've used those triple coat ones too. Again, very thick stuff, I'll tell you that. And I've used some different brushes and stuff. For the finishing touches, I'm just going to use a sponge. I used a different brush for part of it. When I was underneath the table, varnishing above, the sponge held too much poly, and I kept getting it dripped in my face. Not a fan. In fact, I had my hair up too, obviously, to keep it out of the way, but I ended up with polyurethane in my hair. Wasn't a fan of that either. Well, we end this project with our supervisor resting on her laurels out in the shade, drinking her tea and sniffing her breeze and, I don't know, eating some green crap that she's probably going to puke up tonight. That'll be fun. But, you know, she did her work. She supervised the project. It's all good. It has her stamp of approval. Till next time.